Yesterday, you watched Vanquish Soul 5.0. If you haven't, click this button now, get up to date, watch that video. And in this video, I'm going to show you a quick siding pattern with the 5.0 deck list. It's going to be super quick, super useful for your tournaments, for your YCSs, for your regionals and your locals. So anything that you do in terms of siding, this video is going to be very important because remember, you play more games with your side deck than you do with your main deck. So it's really important to focus on the fundamentals of side decking. And what better to do that with Vanquish Soul. If you like this type of content, click that like button, subscribe button. It goes a long way. It motivates me to make more content for you guys. And if there's anything you suggest for future videos, just let me know comments down below. So here we go, straight into the video. Let's do it. The first thing we want to do is work out what cards we want to keep in our deck list for when we go first and for when we're going second. We also want to know what cards we want to bring in from the side deck into the main deck for when we are going first or second. Because we're playing more games with our side deck, it's really important that we get this right. There are a lot of cards in the deck list that won't be very good going second, but there's also good cards in the deck list which will be good going first and even going second. So for example, like Ash Blossom, that's a great card for going first and a great card for going second in this type of deck. The reason why it's really good in this deck for going first is because it adds to your fires for Stake Your Soul, but also the new Vanquish Soul monster to allow you to search any Vanquish Soul card from your deck. Cards such as There Only Can Be One, that's a great card going first. It's probably one of the best opening cards you can open with if you are going first, that is. But when you're going second, it's just not as good. Whereas in replacement, you'd probably rather it be an evenly matched or an ultimate slayer. Initially, we just want to need to work out what cards should we keep into our deck list. There are times as well where we need to work out, are we actually be going first or second in the game? Obviously, if we lose the game, we can decide if we're going first or second. That's really powerful here because what a lot of players will typically do is they figure they want to go first. But with this type of deck, it's one of the best decks for even going second. Because we're siding cards like Evenly Matched, Ultimate Slayer, we've got main deck cards like Kurikara. These cards are very powerful when we do go second. So sometimes we actually want to go second, throw our opponent off guard. They're going to be siding a ton of go second cards, which their deck list now isn't very good for when they go first, and cards such as Ultimate Slayer and Evenly Match will just overpower them and we can just completely grind them out of the game straight away. So that's something I really like to do with Vanquish Soul. Side note, if you want to see Vanquish Soul 6.0 featuring the Sinful package with Diablo Star on the new Age of Overlord set, which can add you darks and fires to make the deck really interesting, let me know below. So now I'm going to point out the cards that are good going first and good going second, or good for both. Ghost Spell, not very good going first because it's not a typical card you want to reveal with Stake Your Soul. It's not amazing going first. It's much better going second. Ash Blossom, like I mentioned, very good for going first and going second. DD Crow, this card is actually good going first and going second because it's a dark, so it allows us to draw cards and dig deeper with Heavy Borga. Kurikara is not very good going first, however, it's very good in terms of revealing for a fire. And in this type of deck, you arguably do want to keep them in. Going second, it's just much better. Fenrir. Fenrir, you always want to keep into the deck because it's good going first, good going second. It lets you search an earth or a fire that you need. And also it can apply a ton of pressure with one single card to your opponent because it can banish a threat that you need to clear. Stake Your Soul, obviously don't need to explain it. Very good going first and going second. Rota, the same. Durandal actually gets better going second because you can equip it then to your opponent's monster. So you're more likely wanting to keep it in for when you go second rather than you go first. However, though, you never really want to side it out. Pot of Desires, you always want to keep in because there's no restrictions on this card apart from banishing 10. It allows you then to dig deeper into your evenly matches, your ultimate slayers, etc. And that means you're going to be starting when you go second with 7 cards rather than 6. Continue, it's much better going first than going second. To be honest, though, I don't really like it going second because at that point you should be losing anyway, right? Arguably, you could side this out. Yes, you won't get the search with Mad Love, and then There Only Can Be One. Very good going first. It's not great going second. However, though, it can be pretty good going second. Now that we've worked out that, we then have to work out, okay, what about the side deck? What cards in the side deck are good going second and good going first? Okay, so the side deck, Evenly Matched, only good going second. Anti-Spell, very good and only good going first. Spellbound, good going first and second. Ultimate Slayer, only good going second. And the Bestials, good going first and second. We need to figure out when we're playing a game against our opponent, when we lose, for example, do we want to put an Evenly Matched or do we want to put an Ultimate Slayer and just go second? Or do we want to go first, keep There Only Can Be Ones in, and put in anti-spells? So as you can see, these can be blowouts together when we go first, and these can be blowouts together when we go second, and pretty much against every deck. So just keep that in mind. We have a lot of good plans. Like I mentioned, if you lose, you might want to go second. And I'm going to keep saying that because you'll be very shocked how often you'll win in these games by throwing off your opponent like that. I'm not going to go into every single deck list how to side against them. Just so you know, the cards that you can never take out is your engine of your Vanquish Soul monsters and basically your spells. You can take out continue when you go second. You do take out their only crew ones when you go second. So as long as you know that, it's much easier now for you to be able to side deck against all the different decks in the game. Good luck in the events that you're playing in. I really wanted to keep this video short and sweet. I hope this added value in some way. If it did, please share it, send it to a friend who would gain value from this. And even if you don't play Vanquish Soul, I'm sure these little pointers would have helped you moving forward. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.